have shown understanding and cooperation with the goal from establishing the control in checkpoints by observing all necessary health guidelines and the lockdown procedures. With the country-wide lockdown in place, Royal Oman police security patrols have never been so busy during the night. This comes in interpretation of the Supreme Committee's decision to ban movement and close public areas and commercial shops at night time until August the 8th. ROP cars and helicopters swept roads and public areas, ensuring the lockdown is in place, implementing and adhered to. Commercial areas and shops were inspected to make sure they remain closed during the lockdown. ROP will remain vigilant during the lockdown to minimize the spread of COVID-19. The concerned governance entities confirmed their readiness to provide basic commodities and services in the markets of all governorates around the Sultanate during the lockdown period, which was affirmed by the Supreme Committee dealing with COVID-19. More details in the following report.
In light of the decision taken by the Supreme Committee tasked with tackling developments resulting from COVID-19 pandemic to impose a complete lockdown of all governorates of the Sultanate, a number of merchants praised the efforts made by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry in cooperation with the relevant authorities to provide essential commodities and foodstuff in all markets and commercial centers around the Sultanate, stressing that food items are available and that efforts are ongoing to provide various goods, calling upon consumers to avoid impulsive shopping and to buy the necessary items only, as the shops and stores have ample products which are sufficient for long periods. The Ministry also has taken necessary measures to implement transit procedures for goods and commodities at the control checkpoints between governorates. This comes in continuation of the efforts made by the Ministry in coordination with the government entities, Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry, local factories and suppliers, to ensure that basic food products and commodities are available in all governorates. The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries Wealth confirmed that it will receive fish at the Central Fish Market during working hours on a daily basis, except for Eid al-Adha holiday, while fish auctions will continue through Bihar electronic platform. The Ministry also calls upon all drivers and market visitors to adhere to the safety and preventive measures issued by the Supreme Committee, adding that fishermen wishing to practice fishing profession in their wilayas in the evening period must hold a boat license and a permit to practice fishing profession. OQ confirmed that its operations are going on normally and the quantities of fuel products in the storage facilities are available to meet the needs of the market across the country, and it is in constant coordination with the oil product marketing companies to ensure that fuel is supplied to all fuel stations in the governorate. For the Sultanate of Oman Television, Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi.
Saturday evening entered into a major nationwide lockdown in the Sultanate with no exception for any movements between 7 p.m. and 6 a.m. More details in the following report.
In order to reduce the spread of coronavirus infection among the society and protect individuals, the implementation of the new decision of the Supreme Committee dealing with coronavirus began last night. Citizens and residents throughout the Sultanate have confined themselves into their homes, abiding the decision of the Supreme Committee, banning all means of movements, including walking, that have started last night and will last up to 8th of August 2020. Full lockdown between governorates, as well as preventing a movement at night from 7 p.m. till 6 a.m. Public places and shops, petrol stations, takeaway restaurants closed their activities way before 7 p.m. in order for all to be back home. The Royal Oman Force personnel patrolling the streets to enforce the lockdown. The total lockdown placed by the Supreme Committee is an opportunity to strictly follow the preventive measures in order to curb the spread of coronavirus and flattening the curve, as flattening the curve is everyone's responsibility.
The Ministry of Health announced 1,147 new confirmed cases of COVID-19, which brings the total number registered in the Sultanate to 76,005, including 384 deaths. The Ministry of Health stresses that 55,299 cases have been recovered. The Ministry of Regional Municipalities and Water Resources, represented in the Food Safety and Quality Centre, launched an electronic campaign to highlight a safe means with the food and precautionary efforts in coronavirus pandemic. The campaign aimed to enhance the awareness side and safe dealing with the food in all stages, in addition to clarify the precautionary measures for food consumers, besides highlighting the monitoring role and site visits for food establishments to avoid spread of the disease in this pandemic. The Ministry of Transport announced the opening of the main road of dual carriageway Ibri-Yankul for traffic with 39 kilometers long, which started from Karn and Alam Kabsh area and ended in Al-Buwairat in Sohar-Yankul intersection. The opening of this road came after the ministry completed the main part of the second phase from the project, which is 10 kilometers long, started from Al-Reed area until Qadal area in the wilaya of Ibri. Ibri-Yankul dual carriageway road is one of the vital projects in the governorates of Al-Dhahira. It will benefit villages along the way like Al-Arath, Qadal, Majzi, Al-Duwaira, Al-Raqi and Sir. Cooperation aspects between the Sultanate and the second Navy countries to enhance bilateral and groups relations with these countries were discussed by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamid Al Busaidi, Secretary General of the Foreign Ministry, in the meeting via video call with their Excellencies and the ambassadors of Norway, Finland, Sweden and Denmark. They also discussed a number of issues of mutual concern and developments. The value of real estate activities until last month exceeded 1,055 million Omani Riyals. The National Center for Statistics and Information reported that the fees collected from all legal transactions reached around 30 million Omani Riyals, with a decrease by 33%. The value of the real estate purchases was 354 million Omani Riyals, while mortgages contracts reached 650 million Omani Riyals. The Ministry of Regional Municipalities and Water Resources issued a decision regarding the controls for seizing stray and neglected animals. The decision included imposing administrative and services fines on owners of the stray animals, a total fine of 250 Omani Riyals every day on each camel or horse, 100 Omani Riyals daily on each cow, and 40 Omani Riyals every day on each goat, sheep or any other kind of animals will be charged. The administrative fine will be doubled in the case a violation is repeated during the same year. The concerned municipality shall be responsible for public auction for the sale of stray animals. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Full lockdown between the governorates continues, and government and movement is banned at night with full commitment by citizens and residents. The Ministry of Health reports 15 deaths and 1,147 new COVID-19 cases in the Sultanate. And the main part of Ibrahim dual carriageway is opened with a length of 39 kilometers. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the studios and the newsroom, it's good night.